Hey, I'm Launders here at CEVO LAN with Cutler of CLG, the IGL of CL Gaming House. There's a couple of things I wanted to ask you about. First off, I guess before you came to LAN, I mean, you're one of the first teams to move into a gaming house in North America. How's that affected your team dynamic, and like, do you feel like it gives you a competitive advantage?
I feel like in the gaming house, like we're more strict during practice now because we all like keep each other accountable for being there. Literally, you can't be like, oh, I was sleeping or oh, I was doing this because you're literally in the house with us. So it's like makes our practice better in
Better?
general. Yeah.
Yeah. So compared to like how it was online, was it like not structured, or were people not taking it seriously, or?
I don't know if it's about taking stuff seriously. It's just like sometimes other stuff come up. I don't know if you just fall asleep. Your alarm or whatever, or just anything.
Shout
It's
out to
just
Tarek.
yeah, just like anything. Like even if you have like you want to go hang out with your friends and stuff like that, you don't really have many friends when you just moved out there. So it's just like
Yeah.
you know, it's more like you're not letting your team down even more now because you're in person with them. It's
Gotcha.
not just like you can hide behind the computer or whatever.
So what about your ping? You're like playing from California. You're probably playing Colorado, and playing like all your matches on the same ping. Does that affect like how much of a difference does playing on like the same ping affect you coming into a LAN or just playing online? Is that something you guys complained about a lot before prior?
I mean, we're all over the place when we were just living in our homes. Like I lived in Connecticut, people lived in California or like the West Coast in general. So it's like I played with like 80 to 90 ping during like the online
Oh,
season when I was like online when I was in Connecticut. Now we play Colorado still, and it's like we all get like 30 ping. The
nice.
only bad thing is like if you get DDoS, we all get DDoS, and we're all just gone. So
Wow. Okay. Well, today is the right after day one. We played groups obviously yesterday. Got to play against Cloud9, one of the favorites of the tournament. And you're coming in with a substitute, Saxington, right?
yes,
And that leaves you calling. Maybe talk a little bit about that.
uh, I want to say thank you for Sanks for subbing for us. He's a really good friend of ours. He's in a role that he's not used to. He's like more of a lurker, and like on his team, he's not like that. So it's like he's not going to shine really on that, and I feel bad for him for that.
Yeah.
But he understands what he came into. So I'm glad he's here. But in game leading, it's a thing that we talked about after ESCA and ESWC, like me even just calling permanently. Uh, Talked about like me having probably like the best mid game calls of what the other team's doing. So we talked about just me trying it in general. Uh, like I said, it sucks that we don't have our original five. So like all the stuff on all the maps that we worked on is kind of not up to par because we're using Sanks. So
Is it like out the window or?
no, like went on the server and showed Sanks like if I call this strat, I want you to do this and do just on default to do this. We really didn't scrim with him because he has to scrim with his own team. They got the qualifier coming on for ESL. So, but yeah, just like C9 wise, we play them on cash, and it's like people give us a hard time without us playing on cash because that's like their most dominant map. But like in a way, I felt like since we played them on cash recently, especially at ESCA, like I knew what they did. Like I know how they like countered our default and stuff like that. There's a round on cash where like when we molly vent and stuff like that, and at ESL they would push stuff that we weren't at. But now like I faked the default on the one round and they all pushed and we all killed them. So it's like I'm pretty prepared on how they counter us. So it's like I was confident in that.
So you are picking up as kind of you're used to in the mid round calls, and now you kind of have to call during freeze time maybe a little bit,
Yeah.
maybe still keep it loose. But you ended up getting 2 rounds CT side, right? And then
Yes.
tied it up on T side. How does that happen? Why is it so much easier for you to get T rounds, or in that map specifically?
Uh, I feel like just like C9, we're more of a T-sided team.
Hmm.
We're good at like exploiting weaknesses, like grouping up together and like getting trading kills. Like just that's how we are. And CT side, it's more like you kind of like have to hold angles and stuff like that. And maybe it's just not our style. I mean, we talked about how to fix our cache and just in general, like holding certain spots on the map that are very important, like middle, for example. Maybe just holding middle
Right.
more in an aggressive way instead of just giving it to them and then giving them more free reign to do whatever we want. Because when we do default, we want middle.
Gotcha.
So it's like, why if we want middle on T side and we're just gonna give them middle on CT side, that just like defeats like it just counteracts what we're trying to do. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
So we decided to like just be able to hold mid more. Try to
Sweet.
see how that works.
Now today you're actually going to play Luminosity. Is that right?
No,
Next
we're
match.
facing Liquid.
Oh, you're placing Liquid next match. Okay. Now, I don't know about your results versus Liquid. How confident do you feel? I'm not going to ask you about vetoes or anything like that, just because this is probably going to go up soon. But
Yeah.
how confident do you feel versus Liquid? What do you want to look out for versus a team like that?
Our biggest problem in general is always like aggression, like especially on T side, like quick strats that we're not really like ready for. Like, say if we're like Sandcast, we're controlling mid, and they fake like a mid take quick, and next thing you know, they're just running out A main, and we only have one person there. That really messes us up because we're just like we're caught off guard, even though we know it could happen. It's just still catches us off guard. So it's like if we can stop just any aggression on either side and just make them play a default setup, that's where we really shine.
Coming into the tournament, where did you expect to end up? I mean, you are coming without an IGL and just a sub in general. So, does that affect like your opinion of yourself as a team? Did you feel confident with Sanks? Like, where did you feel you would place in terms of the teams that were coming to CEVO-P LAN this season?
I think we all still expect to make it out of the groups. I mean, we understand like our situation, so it's like I feel like if we don't just get blown out and we just still work on things that um, that can help us in the long run, we'll be really happy. Like for example, like us picking Cobble, that's a map that we kind of want to get better at. So this is a LAN and we're using a sub. We want to work on that map either way.
Interesting. All right. Well, good luck in your match today. Thanks for the interview, man.
Thank you.
Any shout outs that you want to do?
Yeah, shout out to our sponsors, DX Racer, Razer, iBuyPower, G2A, Twitch.
Awesome. Thank you.